Hi, this is Autohouse Hamilton TV, and I'm James, for always and not just for Christmas. If you're in the fortunate position of buying a new Porsche while you're sitting in the salesperson's office, getting gently buzzed on the expensive free coffee, you'll pick and choose from the options list. It's your car, you worked hard to get it, so go for your life. Choose the things you want. If you're the second owner of a car though, it's a bit different, and some of those sexy options can carry a hidden sting. Details coming up after the title sequence. There are three areas in particular where the options can get wallet threatening. Those areas are carbon brake discs, dynamic engine and transmission mounts, and finally, clever mirrors. Let's take a look at examples of these in order. Carbon brakes, also known as PCCB, the acronym for Porsche Carbon Ceramic Brakes, offer lower unsprung mass and excellent braking performance. But if you aren't the first owner of the car, the result could be lower wallet mass and bank account braking performance. If we take a 997 as an example, replacement steel brake discs will cost a little under $300 each. If you need to replace carbon ceramic discs, they will cost around $11,000 per disc. Similarly, a set of regular brake pads will cost under $200, where a set of PCCB pads won't leave much change from $1,000. In the interests of full and honest disclosure, I've quoted OE or aftermarket parts prices for the steel discs and pads, but the carbon bits are only available as genuine Porsche parts. Even so, the comparison is valid. The good news though is that, in theory, PCCB discs last the life of the car in street use. So if you're looking at a pre-loved car and it has PCCB brakes and they have plenty of life left, and you aren't planning on tracking the car, you shouldn't need to replace the discs. That's the theory though. And as a great philosophizer once said, in theory, there is no difference between theory and practice. But in practice, there is. As a bit of PCCB trivia, to determine the remaining life of a PCCB disc, it needs to be extremely accurately weighed. So using the ichrometer to measure the thickness of the disc will tell you nothing about how much life is left in it. Next up, dynamic engine and gearbox mounts. Dynamic engine or gearbox mounts use a magnetorheological fluid to allow them to be soft and compliant for relaxed cruising and then firmed up to make more spirited progress. They are an option from 981 series Boxster and Cayman and 991 series 911. Where the less expensive hydraulic mounts are in the neighborhood of $200, active mounts are more than 10 times that amount. Finally, and somewhat surprisingly, mirrors. In original series KNs, replacement mirror glasses can cost anywhere from around $200 to around $1,500 for automatically dipping mirrors with a memory setting. The first bit of good news is that if all goes to plan, you won't need to replace mirrors. And the second bit of good news is that even if things do not go to plan, and if you are prepared to make do with mirrors that are slightly less impressive and do nothing more than reflect, some money can be saved. Finally, some properly good news. A part with a sexier option is not drastically more expensive to own. And that is active suspension, which arrived with the 997 and 987 generation of cars. There is no need to be fearful of cars fitted with PASM, that's Porsche Active Suspension Management. Buying genuine Porsche, the premium for a PASM front shock for a 997 Carrera is around 50% over a passive front shock. And better yet, there are alternatives to genuine Porsche, which keep the cost of ownership much more manageable. As ever, thank you for watching. Bugger!